When Disney bought Fox, Disney Plus was set up for massive success in India, and despite that, they've struggled with massive subscriber loss ever since they added the name Disney to their Indian assets. Now, their largest competitor in the space, Reliance Media, has announced that they will be absorbing Disney's Indian business into their own. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. I'm Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, where we talk about streaming, theme parks, entertainment, and video games. Today, we're talking about Disney Plus Hotstar, which used to be just Hotstar. When Disney bought Fox for almost $70 billion, they got the Fox India business, and with it, Hotstar, a very popular streaming service that significantly boosted their numbers. However, after losing the rights to IPL cricket in a bidding war with Reliance, Hotstar, now Disney Plus Hotstar, lost more than 12 million subscribers in just a single quarter. While rumors came out that Disney might exit the Indian market entirely, Disney might have found a way to survive for just a little bit longer by doing something very un-mouse-like, merging with another company. Let's get into it. Disney Reliance India mega merger, companies agree to non-binding term sheet. Deal would create a media and entertainment powerhouse. If you aren't aware of Reliance Media, it is because it is in India and it is huge over there. And when Disney failed to bid enough for the IPL, that is the cricket streaming rights, they lost it to Reliance Media. So all of those streaming numbers that went way down in India that caused Disney to break out their figures to say, no, those aren't the India figures. We're not worried about those India figures.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they might be entering into an agreement where they get all of those figures back here because they're merging with their competitor and they're losing their control in some aspect here. Disney has taken another big step towards realigning its India strategy. The company has signed a non-binding term sheet with Reliance Industries that would see the two merge their Indian operations, the completion of which would create one of India's biggest entertainment empires. Whew, that's an interesting word to use over in India. The news was first reported by the Economic Times. Under the terms, Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Group would own 51%. That's more than 49, guys, of the merged entity through a combination of shares and cash. Disney would hold the remaining 49%, which I'm just pointing out is less than 51 of shares. Term sheet was finalized at a meeting last week in London that saw Bob Iger advisor Kevin Mayer representing Disney and Ambani advisor Manoj Modi there for Reliance. According to the Economic Times, the duo has been working for months on terms. So as we've analyzed a lot of Bob Iger's comments over the last little while of Bob Iger saying, no, we're not selling. No, we're not doing this. No, we would never get rid of that. There was a $10 billion figure that was thrown out there at one point for Reliance to just outright buy Disney's media business in India.
Wow.
And instead, it now looks like they're strategic partners. So this is something that Disney would not have done several years ago. Pro, do you have any comment on how Disney usually enters into negotiations like this?
Well, Disney usually tries to strong-arm anybody that they go into a negotiation with, because Disney tends to only negotiate with smaller companies than they. That said, I would let everybody know that, there's going to be a lot of people out there who say, well, who cares? Why does Disney want to be involved in any of this in the first place? And there's a gambit that is being made here, not an X-Man, but a financial calculus that's being ran. And that is that India is going to have a dramatic increase in their middle class, and that the currency will improve such that Disney can make a huge amount of money off of the second largest nation in the world as that middle class comes into being manifest. That is probable, but in the near term, it is very expensive because you need a vast amount of localization. Disney's trying to solve this with this potential merger. But the first effort into having India be a significant player with the Disney Plus subscriber base did not go well at all for Disney at all, because the ARPU, the revenue generated per user, was just awful in India. I mean, we're talking
70
about
70 cents, I think.
Yes, per account, versus the dollars and dollars off of their leading market in North America.
Right.
So this is sort of a malaise that many companies are facing when it comes to India. They have likewise invested heavily in China, so many of these companies, and The problem with
similar
China, and
reasons.
this is why they want India, the problem with China is that even if you can get into the Chinese market and have decent saturation, the Chinese government limits what you're allowed to make as an international company. And so it's not a free market there. So I can give an example. At the box office, you're going to make something approximating 20% is actually going to come back to your coffers, right into your bank account off of a box office release in China, which is
Right.
just terrible. I mean, that's less than half of what you'll make in the United States. And that's even after theaters get their cut in the United States. In China, you're paying that amount, you're paying 70% to 80% to the Chinese government because the theaters make very little in China. And so this situation with India, I think, is very similar, except that they're hoping that the government there will be more more capitalistic and more free market and allow the companies to make money. Again, it's a major bet. And again, many companies are being gravely burned. And yet so many of the corporations view India as a place that you cannot not invest into, because if it takes off and you're not on that train, then you will be left far, far behind everybody else. There's probably, in India, just to give an idea of perspective here, in India, I believe there are more English speakers in India than there are in the United States, simply by virtue of the fact that there's so many people in India who have taken English as a second language. And so that gives you some idea, I think, of the scope and scale of what Disney's looking
And I'll
at.
say that I
Hopefully
talk to a
will
lot
come
of them all the time because I've been on a call center list for years.
Jonas, your computer still needs a few more updates and changes for it to run properly. You need to call back to CompuFix very quickly. Apologies if there's a real company out there called CompuFix. I'm sure.
Yeah,
there
if you
is.
can,
whenever I get
access
on the
there,
phone with them,
Jonas,
by
we'll
the
get
way,
you.
yeah, whenever I get on the phone with them, I always take my call as yes. What kind of problem do I have? Yes, my name
I
is
would
Morgan
like to fix
Freeman.
that if at
Yes.
all possible.
Yes.
Have you heard of my friend, the honey badger?
Returning back here, yes, he just keeps scooping and scooping. Hotstar, the streaming outlet initially launched by Star India, came under Disney's control as part of the $71 billion acquisition of 21st Century Fox assets. Just pointing out, this is an acquisition that got them this company, and not Disney building it themselves. Disney has used the Star Wars assets in various ways to help attain its goal of 300 million to 350 million overall streaming subscribers by 2024. Interesting. It integrated Disney Plus as a low-cost add-on for Hotstar subscribers, boosting overall Disney Plus subscriptions, albeit at lower margins. Not just lower margins. I mean, we're talking like 50 cents compared to $6.50 per user. It's abysmal number. So when Disney was being honest when they said we're not worried about these subscribers in general, except they're gonna have to spin this up here because they're gonna want to have to talk. They're gonna talk about how great of a deal this was. And they're going to brag about bringing those subscribers back in some way, whether or not they integrated into the Disney Plus numbers. Disney Plus Hotstar. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Vash.
Well, no, I kind of see this interestingly to go off what Pros was saying earlier about India and so forth. They have to, I mean, unlike China, in which they can have Chinese subsidies and so forth, and they already have a distribution outlet that they can kind of key in on. They have to kind of provide a lot of this infrastructure within India, right? And that kind of, they have to invest so much into it, and they have to bankroll all these costs. Getting in with a strategic partner that's already set up there, at least shores off some of the costs that they had to incur. Is that kind of what I'm getting here?
Yeah, going into a market where you don't fully understand the market, which Disney's failure in the space, I think, is an indication that Disney doesn't quite understand the Indian. I'm not faulting them for not knowing how to take over the entertainment sector of India. While they are a global company, they're very much a Eurocentric company, and
Right.
India obviously has some European influence with some of the history there, but It is a very different culture from Western culture, but does have some Western influence. So,
interestingly enough, this doesn't just extend to broadcast rights and so forth here, or streaming rights, but Iger has intimated before in the past that where they'd like to set up a new theme park operation. Some people say South America, but India is definitely a strong contender for that, and has been for years. But I think this is going to set it back a little bit.
Disney has shocked me before. I'll be shocked if they open a new theme park in South America, simply because they don't have the funds right now to manage the
Yeah.
parks they have.
Long-term goals, bro. Long-term goals.
Mhm.
Yeah, but India, I could see them going for India under the same idea that they have for China. But yeah, South America, I don't know. Would they go to Brazil?
Brazil. Yeah, that
I mean,
would be the
most economically stable would be Chile, but I don't think they want to go to Chile.
Well, yeah,
So
I
guess
think
Brazil.
I think right now Florida is pulling in some of the South American market as well, which is interesting to me. That Florida, when California, not that much farther than Florida when you're talking about international flights. So, with that being said, well, we are going to comment on the Latin America situation with Disney Plus here in just a moment. Disney Plus Hotstar is Disney's biggest streaming service globally in terms of users, but started shedding subscribers after losing the IPL rights. Those are the cricket rights to streaming app GeoCinema in a $3 billion deal last year. GeoCinema is jointly owned by Reliance Geo, Paramount Global, and James Murdoch and Uday Shankar's Bodhi Tree Systems. So Reliance is also involved here as well. Disney executives said the studio has miscalculated the appetite of Indian consumers to switch from free viewing to premium plans. Yeah, that's probably understating it, as the entire market is trying to go to ads based. Obviously, Amazon. Anyone want to talk about the Amazon news?
Sure.
Amazon Prime has switched all users.
Hold on a second, Jonas. I'm getting an advertisement right now. Hang on. Let me watch it real quick.
Don't forget to subscribe to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
All right, now we're in on the game too. I like it. Now share, please, what's going on with Amazon.
Amazon has sent out an email basically saying you're getting ads on all of your streams from here on out, and if you don't want ads, that'll be $3 extra per month. Instead of trying to play the game where they upgrade people or do the downgrade to say if you downgrade you'll get ads. They're just saying no, you are getting ads, and all of this effort that what we would normally put into upsell you, no, we're just going to put the onus on you. Probably a good call with services like Freevee on Amazon Prime right now.
Yeah,
so
I think everything's going to ads. Everything is going to ads. The other model is unsustainable. It doesn't work. Every service is going that way. And by the way, every service is about to increase, in my viewpoint, increase their subscription rates dramatically. Space Dave pointed this out earlier in the show. Disney about to hike the cost for Disney Plus in Canada dramatically. And this is just the beginning. And right now is the time for some of these platforms to put that out there, because you're distracted by the holidays, by New Year's, etc. So since it's already set up to auto draft out of your bank accounts, why not kick the price way up right now? And if you complain, they'll say, well, we sent you an email a month ago back in the end of December. Why weren't you paying attention?
Exactly. Now, also, I love this phrase whenever I see it, because it's such a Wall Street phrase. We were bullish on Indian subscribers' propensity to pay. Bullish. They misspell it every single time. That's not worked out, an internal source told Reuters. Free Cricket
it's also
is
probably not the right animal to go with when talking about the market in India.
I would agree with that.
True.
Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Is this a sign that Disney might be willing to partner with other companies across the globe in a more amicable way? Or is this just Disney marrying the first fellow who comes along in order to not lose its visa status? Tell us your thoughts, because we would love to know. This clip was part of our now regular Thursday live stream, which starts at noon Eastern time. Of course, if you're not in that time zone, just hit the notification bell if you'd like YouTube to just tell you when that is. Like this video if you like this video. If you know someone who is as interested as we are in this sort of nerdy stuff, then maybe you should share the link with them. And of course, please consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.